I don't have a bezel on a turtle right now, but let me show you something about this one that you can tell right away. First of all, see if you can hear it. Okay, that's just back and forth in any direction. When you start turning it, that sound is much too loud because it's very loose. When you push it back and forth, it actually moves a great deal. Um, and that is essentially because um, the machining of the parts is not as exact. I will be taking this apart to see, but that's the back play. Okay, so you can tell that it doesn't sound like it should. So we'll take a look. I also don't have this particular Coke setup. I don't have the Coke bezel and the black um, dial. But I mean, this is mostly I use the Patty ones, and then other additions. But that shouldn't be happening. So let's look inside. Let me say this quickly about the cases. I'm not going to take everything apart right now. I'm just looking at things that I can find at a glance. The case looks very well done to me. It may come out of the same factory for all I know. It's well finished. I have not looked at it under magnification, but it does look solid and well built. Not so with a bezel mechanism, but the case itself looks good. I'm going to take a look at the movement and show you guys what I find. Well, we'll look at it together. Hold on a second. Here is the one that came out of the fake 789, and here's a Patty movement just for comparison. Okay, so you hear NH36 all the time, and most of the watches that have a day and date, Seiko ones, typically that's the name. It's the generic version of the same movement that's in Seiko's world, the 4R36. And this is probably going to be rather difficult to see, but I don't know if you can see the markings there. 4R36 on the top side of the screen, Seiko 24 jewel. Those are the markings that you see on the fake one. At a glance, the other one looks the same. You're going to see the same markings. Get the lighting right for you guys. They are 4R36 on the top, Seiko 24 jewels under the Seiko written out, not in numbers. Now, the thing is that I haven't looked at this thoroughly yet, but this rotor, just like this one, looks like a normal rotor that I'm used to seeing. This rotor on the fake one is different. Um, it looks like it has a plate that has been put on top of the other rotor. And I'm going to take it off of here and see if I can show you guys. Let me show you what I mean. I'm not sure if you can see, but here and on the other side, there, that looks like it's a plate that has been put on top of the other rotor, either glued Well, probably glued, because you can see two different plates there. You can see the original one and then the one that they added to it. And that's why the markings are a little different. It's a lot more bold. I'm going to take this apart anyway, so I'm not really worried about the hands and all that stuff. This one has to come apart too. But that's why the rotor markings are different. They're more pronounced. They're Hang on, I'm trying to get this focus. Move this light away. And there, I think we're getting better. There we go. It just looks more bold and brighter on, actually deeper, I guess is what I would say, on the fake one than it does on the real one. I think it's because that plate, sorry, I think that plate has been reproduced. I'm not saying it's not a 4R36 or an NH36 movement. It certainly looks like one. And when I look at it up close and I look at the components, I will see more. I'll have to look at, every angle and maybe take it apart and see. But first, I'm going to just run it, regulate it, see how it performs. Another thing that I noticed when I took this off is that the crown that I took off of the fake one, while it looks, I'm sorry about the camera, guys. While it looks very, very close to the original, it isn't exactly the same thing. You can see that the size this way appears to be longer on the fake than on the regular one. And those of you that I've been yelling the whole time you've been looking at your screen, yes, it doesn't have a gasket, which should be there. It's a different crown tube mount. However, that's not to say there's no gasket at all, because it does look like it has a gasket in the back there, whereas Seiko doesn't. Some of the crowns that I've been upgrading to have gaskets in both places, at the very bottom, and then one here or two here, whatever the case may be. But there are a lot of watches that use this kind of crown crown seal, and that's a gasket at the bottom and not here. So it's different. I'm not saying better or worse. I'll pressure test them and see, but it's just something for you guys to keep in mind. All right, I will do more work on this when I have more time, and we will. If there's anything else to discover, I'll share it with you. All right, thank you.